Meet the Watts family, the poster-perfect happy bunch. The parents beaming with love and the kids all smiles. This photo was taken just 9 months before the laughter in this household was forever silenced. And the surprising part? It was done by none other than the family's very own superhero, Christopher Lee Watts. In August 2018, the 33-year-old American oil field worker brutally killed his pregnant wife, Shanann, by strangulation and their 2 young and innocent daughters, 4-year-old Bella and 3-year-old Celeste, by asphyxiation. The once happy family was no more. But why on earth would Chris do something so terrible? What could make a dad harm his flesh and blood, his very own daughters? This is the spine-tingling story of the Watts family murders that'll keep you up at night. It was as if the Watts had it all. Christopher and Shanann were the it couple, a match made in heaven. They crossed paths in 2010, and their love story led to a beautiful marriage on November 3rd, 2012, right there in Mecklenburg County. This charming couple was blessed with 2 adorable daughters, Bella Marie Watts, born on December 17th, 2013, and Celeste Catherine, lovingly known as Cece, who arrived on July 17th, 2015. Life seemed like a lively party for them. And the happier news was that Shanann was expecting again. She was 15 weeks pregnant with a boy they planned to name Nico. Little did they know that it was the calm before the storm. They had it all sorted until, one day, everything changed for the worse. And what happened next is beyond tragic and profoundly sad. Around 1:48 a.m. on Monday, August 13th, 2018, Shanann was returning home from a business trip in Arizona with her friend and colleague, Nicole Utoft Atkinson. Meanwhile, Chris Watts had been caring for their daughters during the weekend. Around 2 a.m. that same day, Nicole dropped Shanann off at their home in Frederick, Colorado. However, she lost all contact with her after that. As the hours passed, Nicole couldn't reach Shanann, and her concern grew when Shanann missed an important ob-gyn appointment. Alarmed by these circumstances, Nicole called Chris, who was at work, and contacted the police. Shanann, along with her girls, was missing. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. A Frederick police officer arrived at about 1:40 p.m. for a welfare check. During this check, Christopher gave the officer permission to search the house. Inside, the searchers found the family dog unharmed, but chillingly, no sign of Shanann or the girls could be found. They located Shannon's purse, her keys, and the children's medicine. Her phone was later discovered tucked between the couch cushions in the family home. Shannon's wedding ring was found resting on the bedside table. There was something definitely off. The situation was getting more and more complicated with every passing moment. Yet, there was no signs of the girls. The FBI and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, CBI, joined the search the next day, and they wanted answers. At first, Watts claimed he didn't know where his family was. He said he hadn't seen his wife since the previous day when he left for work. He even spoke to Denver TV stations, asking for his wife and kids to return. He must have been devastated. Or was he? In the days that followed, things got even worse. With every passing moment, the hopes of finding Shanann and the girls were fading away. However, during this duration, the police noticed something odd. During all this time, Chris's story had changed a lot. At first, he told the police that he didn't know where his wife Shanann and his kids were. Meanwhile, he was giving interviews and begging people to help find them. But what he didn't know was that while he was putting up this facade, the investigators were checking his phone records. Soon, they discovered he was having a secret relationship with a woman. Things were starting to pile up against him. In a shocking turn of events, a neighbor's camera recording found him loading a body into the back of his truck. Then, on August 15th, just 2 days after the disappearances, Chris took a lie detector test, and the results showed he wasn't telling the truth. That's when everything started to unravel. This time, Chris knew he had messed up. On that same day, Chris said he'd tell the police what really happened if he could talk to his dad first. The investigators took a chance and let him. And it worked. Chris admitted to his dad that he had killed his wife. The truth was out. Soon after the confession, the investigators found the lifeless body of pregnant Shanann, little Bella, and sweet Celeste just where Chris had said they were, at an Anadarko petroleum site. Shanann was in a shallow grave, and the girls were mercilessly thrown into oil tanks. It was beyond heart-wrenching. On August 21st, 2018, Chris was officially charged with murdering his family. But how could a husband, a father, or simply a human being commit such horrifying acts? Even after all these terrible crimes, Chris wasn't finished with his lies. First, he blamed his deceased pregnant wife for smothering their daughters, Bella and Celeste, before he strangled her in a fit of rage. He accused Shanann of being upset about their separation. He said she took their daughters' lives in retaliation. But his story changed again. He confessed to killing his wife and daughters, pleading guilty to 9 charges, including 5 counts of first-degree murder. He got 5 life sentences for the murders, plus more years for other crimes. But this confession didn't come from remorse, but rather because he chickened out from the possibility of facing the death penalty. However, the whole truth still wasn't out, and when you hear it, it'll only deepen the disgust for this man. During a lengthy 5-hour interview with investigators from prison, he finally unveiled the horrifying truth, and all the puzzle pieces fell into place. It all began with a heated argument between Chris and Shanann about their separation, due to his cheating. He told his wife that he didn't love her anymore and wanted things to end. Shanann threatened to leave with her kids, and Chris went ballistic. He confessed to strangling his wife to death in a fit of rage during this argument. As he struggled to move her lifeless body downstairs, Bella and Celeste woke up and confronted him. He told them that their mom wasn't feeling well. The innocent girls believed him. Chris then loaded the 2 girls and their mother's lifeless body into his truck. He drove them to the oil site. Before burying Shanann in a shallow grave, Watts choked Celeste in the back seat. After discarding Celeste's lifeless body in an oil tank, he returned to smother Bella. In a heartbreaking and horrifying moment, Bella begged for her life. "Daddy, no!" were her last words before she closed her eyes forever. Chris is currently serving his life sentence in a high-security prison in Wisconsin. Perhaps the only consolation in this horrifying story is that he is hated, even in prison. According to a source, he is on the lowest social tier of the entire prison, and he's an outcast even among criminals. The source goes on to say, he killed children. There is a definite pecking order in jail, and someone who hurts or kills kids is at the very bottom. Don't you think he deserves this treatment? Share your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.